My name is Shahar Coleman, and today I'll be talking to you about child abuse. The purpose of this speech is to inform you about what abuse can do to a child. Child abuse is one of the most horrifying things you could ever do to a child because it leaves them with physical, mental, and sexual scars. Would you ever do anything to harm a child in any manner? Child abuse leaves a child with lifelong issues, regardless if the child wants to acknowledge the problems or not. Children who are abused often display all sorts of problems, such as misery, fatal behavior, trouble in school, use of alcohol and other drugs, and early sexual intercourse activity. Children who are abused or neglected also are more likely to repeat the cycle of violence by entering into violent relationships as teens and adults or abusing their own children. While attending Mitchell County High School, I'm able to see the different types of child abuse that's being taken place on my friends and associates. To embark upon, a child can be abused physically, but it is very saddening. Physical abuse is happening all over the world, and the numbers are increasing every day. According to Dr. Michael Sharp, every 2 seconds a child is being physically abused. You heard me. 2 seconds. 5 out of every 6 cases are unreported. So if you want this agony to end, there is only one solution. Speak out. Having a trusted person that you can go to about anything can decrease these statistics. Take it from the girl who has been put in this predicament. If you speak out about children getting physically abused, you could be helping a child. Regardless of the circumstance, no child should be physically abused. If you are disciplining your child, that is one thing. But if you deliberately physically harm them, then that's another. Do not take this lightly, because not one child deserves to go through this. By abusing them that way, you can leave bruises on them, which will cause preliminary actions to be taken place. You have learned about physically abusing a child, so now we can discuss mentally abusing a child. Mentally abusing children can cause them to have low self-esteem. Therefore, they may not know their self-worth. Like Alvin Price says, a child's bucket of self-esteem must be filled so high that the rest of the world can't poke enough holes to drain dry. You will tear a child apart if you mentally abuse them because their emotions will go insane and they may ask questions like, do anyone really love me? Am I important? Or they may make statements like, I am a nobody. Mental abuse to a child can be anything in the form of isolation, humiliation, verbal assault, or any other mean and hateful thing that makes the child feel less than who they are. This type of abuse can have devastating consequences behind it because your child can grow up and do the same thing to their children, and the cycle will repeat itself. Just because there isn't any visible mark on the child doesn't mean it's not real. If you have a child and you are being abused, then you are mentally abusing your own child because they're seeing what is happening to you. In addition to physically and mentally abusing a child, there is another serious abuse that needs to end today that happens to most children. Sexual abuse. If you are an adult and you force unwanted sex upon a child, then that is called sexual abuse. Sexual abuse can do a lot of damage to a child's mind because they are still young and they are not fully developed in their mind yet they are still underage and gullible. The younger a child is, the more naive they are. As a result, you can fool them into doing anything you say. According to www.safetyfirstforgirls.org, says 30% to 40% are sexually abused by family. Another 40% are abused by an older child they know. 50% are sexually abused by a trusted family friend. And 10% are abused by strangers. When a child is being sexually abused, you shouldn't expect obvious signs. The signs are there, but you have to look for the right signs. Your child could be the happiest child ever, and someone can sexually abuse them, and you may never know it. If you suspect your child is being abused, then go with your first instinct. The act of abusing a child in any way is scary, but it happens every day in the United States. And like I said before, it is real. As we end this discussion today, I hope you now know that nothing is good about abusing a defenseless child. Physically, mentally, and sexually abusing a child leaves them with horrifying issues. So when you hear about someone being abused, don't hesitate to speak up because it may become too late. Thank you and goodbye.